I think of today's guest on 10 Words or Less as a rebel nutritionist, which is harder than it sounds. His accrediting institution is the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, an organization for which I have considerable scorn. Its mission statement doesn't even mention we, the people, who eat. It's dedicated to, quote, empowering members to be the nation's food and nutrition leaders. I suppose that's cool, a membership group that says it works for its members, except that it doesn't appear to listen to its members. It does, however, listen to such nutrition plunderers as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and McDonald's, which provide 10% of A&D's funding. Let me ask you, if you took millions of dollars every year from people, are you more likely to disagree with them or to promote their interests? Andy Bellatti currently works in the wellness field in Las Vegas. He's a registered dietitian. I met him on Twitter, and he's clearly charismatic. Not only am I attracted to what he discusses, but I find that many of those I most eagerly follow and engage with Andy. He's a co-founder of Dietitians for Professional Responsibility, made up of dietitians within A&D who are seeking change. It's got a Facebook page. You can find it, Dietitians for Professional Responsibility.
Integrity.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, just so they can find it.
Of course. And there's that little thing called accuracy. Thank you for the update.
Sure.
Finally, a word about the format. I try to limit my questions to 10 words, and I ask respondents to answer likewise. But 10 words or less is an ethic, not a limit, so please, no counting. It's not easy, and let's see you do it. Andy, you can come back to a question if you want, or you can decline to answer, and I reserve the right to ask you for a different answer if I feel like it.
Okay.
Even though we have this mutual interest, I invite you to cast beyond just nutrition for your answers when appropriate. I find that many participants tend to get a bit of tunnel vision, starting to talk about the obvious reason we're engaging, and then excluding out all else.
Okay.
Thanks for playing, and let's get started. First question is the easiest one you'll have. It is, please spell your first and last name.
ANDYBELLATTI.
I see it spelled all the time in your Twitter handle and things like that, but I always like to ask, get it on the record. What is your occupation?
Wellness dietitian.
You don't, not an address, just city and state.
Henderson, Nevada.
What is your family circumstance? And again, very general, married, kids, dating, anything like that.
Single.
Born, when and where?
Argentina, 1982.
Are you thinking about that?
Am I thinking about what?
Yeah, I thought maybe you didn't hear me. Could you tell me the date?
Oh, May 29th.
Was there anything notable about the circumstances? You know, it was on a ship, Elvis was in the next bed, anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
That question was a woman who was born a week after JFK was assassinated, and her mom's pediatrician had been attending Jackie.
Wow.
Yeah. A formative event from your childhood.
Moving to the U.S. I couldn't hear you.
And when was that, please?
1990.
Why were you living in Argentina?
Oh, that's where my whole family is from.
Why did you move?
My father's job. I couldn't hear you.
You do.
IT work.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
A journalist.
First paying job.
Well, I guess technically it was dog sitting when I was 10 years old.
Is there any wisdom you learned in that job that you still find valuable today?
Showing up on time when you say you're going to.
Name an influential person to you outside of your family.
Marion Nestle.
Okay, I know who she is. Give me another sentence about that, please.
Food politics and nutrition expert.
Okay, tell me something you're passionate about.
The truth.
Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Reality TV.
Name a couple shows.
Anything involving the Real Housewives.
Something that people don't understand.
Food politics.
Know that they don't. Yes. What should they know that they don't?
The influence food companies have on nutrition policy and guidelines. I couldn't hear you.
For them.
Why is that bad for them?
That they should know more about the influence that food companies have on nutrition policy and guidelines. What's the, why should they don't understand it and they should. Why should they?
Because then they'll realize that what they're being told about nutrition isn't always based on science.
Thank you. Do you experience any food problems?
No.
Allergies, no cravings, no nothing.
I don't consider my relationship with food problematic, no. If I have a craving, I eat something.
I got that right. If I have a craving, I eat something. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Good. Okay, just want to check it. A food rule that you choose to follow.
Eat as unprocessed as possible.
Rule you're considering to follow.
Nothing comes to mind right now.
Tell me, why nutrition?
Because we all eat every single day. It's an act that happens on a daily basis.
Never mind, I'll skip over the one. You already answered it. You just didn't realize. Yes or no? Most people think that junk food is fun.
Yes.
Or no? Most people think that nutrition is for sissies.
Depends on the person.
Well, okay. My next question was, how did that happen? That junk food has a higher Q rating than nutrition.
Oh, marketing.
An argument that you use to prove differently that junk food isn't, it shouldn't be junk food's highest value, and that nutrition is important.
I remind people of how they feel when they eat a lot of junk food versus when they eat healthful foods.
Do you counsel moderation, or are there some foods that some people should avoid?
I don't counsel moderation. Some foods should be eaten on a daily basis. Some foods rarely, if at all.
Is obesity a dirty word best avoided?
No. We have to talk about that.
I'm sorry?
We have to talk about that.
Is food addiction real?
Yes. I couldn't hear you.
Fine, give me your definition of food addiction.
Uncontrollable urges, difficulty stopping, physical and/or emotional dependence on certain foods.
If there were a crowd here, they would be cheering. Now, about the AND, what is it?
The professional organization that represents all dietitians in the United States. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How much does it cost to be a member?
Well, depending, average $200 to $250 a year.
Good does it do? Not the money, the AND.
You mean for me personally?
It's an open-ended question. You define how to answer it. What good does AND do?
Allows for networking with other RDs.
Your beef with AND?
Associations with big food companies that don't care about health.
Oh, I got it right here. What do the dietitians for professional integrity hope to accomplish?
We hope that the Academy will cut its ties with those companies. That's our main goal.
What kind of support has emerged so far?
A lot of concerned individuals and support from support from a lot of food thought leaders. We're very happy about that. What was the question?
Please.
Like who you said?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, if for some reason I think when you're typing I can't hear. Miriam Nestle, Michael Pollan, those are two of the most visible people who have supported our efforts.
Excuse me, the first name. I heard Michael Pollan. I didn't catch the other.
And Miriam Nestle.
If you can, reconstruct what you said after those two names.
Oh, I said those are the two most high-profile individuals in the food world who have supported our efforts.
Is there any indication that AND is listening?
As of recently, there is some, but a lot more is needed.
Okay, why not just blow it off and just say, I'm done with you?
That just seems too easy. I think that's partially what the Academy may want. We want to hold them accountable and have a conversation.
Nutrition and weight are so out of whack in our country. Are we going to make it?
That's up to all of us and up to the kind of policy and environment that we create.
Okay, I agree with that, but I'd like to ask, are we going to make it?
What does making it look like?
I asked someone once, and she said, well, I think some of us, some of humans, will make it through the keyhole that we're fashioning by what we're doing to the environment, but not all of us. So she felt that what we were doing to ourselves and to the planet were may have gone too far. You might hear people who talk about 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere being the cutoff of where we have to stop, and now it's over 400. They might say we're not going to make it. And there's a scene, pop culture. It's sorry. There's a scene in Wall-E, the movie.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I didn't. I know what it's about, but I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, there's a scene in which everybody is on these hovercrafts, and I mean everyone. And they have cup holders, and there are lounge chairs, and the implication is that in the future we got so heavy we couldn't walk anymore, and we just kept going down the road of using technology to make possible whatever mistakes we were making. So those are some of the ways I think, trying to paint a picture of are we going to make it or not.
I think we are going to make it, but in the process, there will be more problems down the road.
Last question. Please tell me something that sustains you.
I think just the quest for truth and my desire to keep peeling back the layers of what's going on.
Andy, thank you very much. How was it for you?
It was very inquisitive, so it made me think. No, but it made me think. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate your participating. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next is I'm going to. I hope that the video portion worked and that it'll be posted to the Fat Boy Thin Man YouTube channel. I'm going to make it private just to edit a little bit off the front probably, and then I'll post that on my blog, and I'll send you the URL so you can post it wherever you want. I'm going to edit down the for text. I'll edit down. I'll probably throw out some of the questions, and then I'll send you a copy of the transcript so that you can ensure that what I'm saying you said is represented by what's on the page. And then I will post that as well. If anyone's listening, I'd like them to know that I do other 10 words or less interviews, and there isn't yet, but I'll put a link to them on my blog at michaelprager.com. So there are quite a few very interesting people. I did one the other day with Nicole Avena. By any chance, you know who that is, Andy?
I'm not familiar with her, no.
She's a researcher at formerly, or is still currently kind of from Princeton, and also at the University of Florida. She worked with Bart Hobel on the addictive properties of sugar, and she's very accomplished, one of the most accomplished researchers in the world on addiction and food, and she's 34 years old. So she's quite an interesting person. So she was actually the first Hangout on Air volunteer. Unfortunately, the first one there was no video at all. The second one, all we got was a sign for 34 minutes and 43 seconds saying, "We'll be right back." I hope this will be the first truly successful one. It already was successful for me. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on Twitter.
Sounds good. Thanks again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.